Is men's bodybuilding really losing popularity? Now, I'm not attacking people who do use different types of steroids or anything like that. I feel like everybody's entitled to use exactly what they want to use, and everybody should have free will when it comes to stuff like that. It's just there's a major difference between drug tested competitions and non drug tested competitions. The main difference that people notice from the drug tested competitions is how strict it is, because a lot of the time you're not allowed to use a lot of specific substances, including some that aren't even related to bodybuilding in the first place, like marijuana, for example. That has nothing to do with bodybuilding, but some people might use it for different types of medical use, but you can't use it if you're going to a drug tested bodybuilding competition. But we're not here to talk about that. One of the main differences between drug tested competitions and non drug tested competitions are the sheer size of these people. Now, I know you've seen some of the people in the IFBB if you do pay close attention to the different types of bodybuilding competitions out there, and you see how huge some of these guys can get. Now, not saying that all of these guys get that way because of the supplements or the different steroids that they use, and that is one of the major factors that separate drug tested competitions from the non-drug tested competitions and the participants that decide to go to these different competitions. In society today, more is better, and it's just the way that life is. This applies to size as well. Some people just like to see that fuller look, and a lot of it is easier to attain when it comes to using different types of drugs that will give you these specific enhancements. And as I said, everybody is entitled to use exactly what they want to use, so I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just sharing the details that separate those who don't from those who do. Now, a lot of people out there also like to say that when you're taking these types of drugs or enhancers, it is very important to maximize your potential and stuff like that. Not everybody has that outlook, but some people do feel that way. I feel like that's a valid point, honestly. If you do hit that peak where you feel like you can't get any bigger, and you really know that for a fact, or you're just struggling to just get to that next step, sometimes it might just mean that you might want to take that next step. Like Ronnie Coleman, for example. He's an 8-time Mr. Olympia champion, and he didn't initially use those types of drugs to start off his career. He used it later down the line because he felt like he hit a wall. And for people like that, it's a little bit different, but most of us today, we think that we hit that ceiling when we don't really, and choose to take the shortcut. Using it as a shortcut is not going to give you any type of real substantial health benefits in the long run, because when you think about it, when you're naturally bodybuilding, then you're eating right, you're sleeping right, you're having to focus more on your habits as a person and your daily functions to make sure that your body is at peak performance. And that is one of the things that people don't really like about drug testing competitions, because the amount of prep that it takes and the leanness that you have to get. You do have to get extremely lean to be able to participate in some of these competitions. And for people who find it a lot harder to lose weight, it can be tough for them. And that's why they decide to go to that side. Another reason is because it does take longer to see results. And it would take somebody who is completely natural, only taking like creatine or something like that, way longer than somebody taking steroids to get a beefy body. Another key difference is unfortunate, unrealistic expectations. Now, we do all have limits on what we can do, but it's up to us to really see things through and be able to push those limits to the end. There's a lot of people out there who decide to stay on track and do natural bodybuilding and increase their body mass completely natural through sports, nutrition, and things of that nature. I definitely can say too that a lot of the old bodybuilders back in the day who did it naturally just went ahead and ate huge amounts of food, which is not easy, especially in today's society. It can get expensive too, trust me. But it does allow you to be able to say, I did it all naturally by eating food and not using any enhancers or steroids. And on TV too, people just want to see the biggest guy that's out there, the more muscular guy that's out there, those extreme examples of strong people. and that is mainly prominent in non-drug tested body competitions. As I said though, there's multiple different reasons why people do what they do, and if that's something that you're interested in and getting to that peak or going beyond that, then if you decide to do that, just be aware of the different types of issues that you could quite possibly run into, and really do consider natural bodybuilding as a whole. You may not be getting that publicity, but at least you'll be able to go to the gym and say, yeah, I really did do this from the ground up. So this is gonna wrap up my video for today, y'all. Thank you so much. I realized that I think I've shifted to the left or to the right. Hopefully I can fix that in editing. If I don't, I hope you still enjoyed it regardless, and look forward to the next video that's gonna be posted next week. Peace.